For some authors, the road to the New York Times bestseller list happens quickly, but for others, it can be a lifelong journey.
I talk to people today that'll come up to me and they'll say, "Ooh, I wish I'd have met you 25 years ago." And I'm like, no, you didn't want to meet me 25 years ago.
For author Andy Andrews, his own personal struggles were necessary to define who he is today as a writer.
This is stuff that I've worked on trying to figure out for years and years and years, and stuff that changed my life. It took me 25 years to get to this point.
From living homeless under a fishing pier, pawning his clothing to pay bills, and having his first book rejected by over 51 publishers during a 3-year period.
51 of the greatest publishing minds in the world said that what I had written was not worth putting on paper, and yet it sold over 1 million copies. So they were not just wrong, they were really wrong.
Andy's early struggles led him on an amazing career path, launching his career as a stand-up comedian.
I figure everybody can relate to this because either you are a parent or you had one.
Opening on the road for Joan Rivers, Kenny Rogers, and Bob Hope.
Whoever invented that brush that hangs beside the toilet, I mean, because that thing hurts.
Speaking at the request of 4 U.S. presidents, and becoming one of the most influential and sought-after speakers in America.
All of a sudden, everywhere I'm going, people are going, "Please welcome motivational speaker," and it terrified me because I'm not one, and I don't even like them myself.
Today, Andy now has 2 New York bestsellers under his belt, and his latest novel, The Final Summit, is the sequel to the highly successful Traveler's Gift.
For a long time, I refused to do a sequel to The Traveler's Gift. You know, even though people were saying, "When are you going to write a sequel?" I was kind of like, well, I'm not. I mean, what are we going to do? Send him 7 more places? And I couldn't come up with a story for a long time that would make it worth doing.
The Traveler's Gift defined 7 principles that can lead to success, selling millions of copies worldwide, and reprinted in over 20 different languages.
The name of the sequel is The Final Summit. I wrote it in such a way that even if you haven't read The Traveler's Gift, this will make sense. But if you have read The Traveler's Gift, you really want to read this.
Like most of Andy's work, The Final Summit takes lessons from history and great leaders in the past, and applies those ideas and principles in today's world.
Part of what I do when I do my research is I'm looking for true things. I'm looking for obscure stories that people haven't heard of. And boy, do I have an unbelievable one in The Final Summit.
Andy's passion for his work truly shows, as the idea of how to follow up such a huge novel came to him.
The story itself is fantastic. I am very excited about how this story unfolded. But the principle that I was able to highlight in this book, for a person who is searching, a person who's looking for some answers about family situations or financial situations or their personal life, the principle will change everything.